Good morning, students. Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the online classes of economics. Today we will be going to learn the topic money creation by the commercial banking system. So, in this particular topic, we will be going to learn how the money is created by the commercial bank. First of all, a question will arise, what do you mean by money creation? Here, money creation doesn't mean that commercial bank forms the money or creates the money. Here the thing is that whatever money is circulated in all over the economy, in all over the nation, by that money, what the commercial bank is getting, how they are generating the money flow in the market, that is known as money creation by commercial bank. Actually, we have already learned that money is created by only one bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India, central bank. That Reserve Bank only got the rights that they can create the money and they can supply to all the other parts of the country. Now we will be going to learn money creation by commercial banking system. In this topic we will be learning how the commercial bank supply the money, that is takes the deposit of the people, and how the money they give to the person who are in need of money, how the borrowers borrow the money from the commercial bank, how from where the money comes to the commercial bank, that they are giving the money to the needy person in the form of loan. That all we will be going to learn in this particular topic, that is money creation by the commercial banking system. The previous chapter reveals three sources of money supply in India: the central bank, which is the central authority of note issuing, the central government, which issue coins, and the commercial banks, which create money on the basis of their cash reserves. So these are the place from where the money is created. First was the central bank, RBI, which is the central authority of issuing the notes, the central government, which issue the coins, and the commercial bank, which creates the money on the basis of cash reserve. So that all the things I think now it is clear. The present chapter focuses on the creation of money by the commercial bank. We explain how commercial bank credit money many times more than their cash reserve, that is a CR. Here CR is a variable, macro variable. We explain how cash reserves of the commercial bank serve as the basis of money creation. Process of money creation. Let us start. How commercial bank creates the credit. Here commercial bank create credit. Once again I want to explain you what we will be going to learn in this particular topic, that how the commercial bank creates the money, that is generates the loan to the people and take the deposit of the peoples. That only we will be going to learn in this topic, that is commercial bank creates the credit. Commercial bank create credit on the basis of their cash reserves. Note the following observation carefully to understand how cash reserve of the commercial bank are the basis of money creation. Cash reserve are the reserve which every commercial bank have to maintain, and they have to maintain 1% to the some percent of that cash reserve with the RBI, so that they will not stop their functioning of withdrawing the money and depositing the money of the people. Commercial bank creates cash reserve. Very first step, let us assume that all banks in the economy receive cash deposit of rupees 10,000. These are demand deposits of the people or cash reserve with the banks has deposit. There are a liability of the bank. Yes, definitely. One person give money to us and that money doesn't becomes ours. Still, if the money is not in the form of salary or wages or in other forms, so that money is just a liability to us that we have to pay back to the person. Same way bank also deposit the money, they take the money of the customer. So here one example have been taken, the 10,000 deposit have been taken by banks. So this cash of 10,000 is a liability for the bank. Whenever the person will come, they have to return back. As cash reserves, there are assets of the banks. The banks are guided by their historical experience that all the depositors never withdraw their deposit at a particular point of time. Therefore, the banks find it safe to keep only a part of the deposit as reserve and lend the rest as loan to the borrowers. I think the line is clear now. But after getting the clearance of this line, it doesn't becomes that whatever money we are depositing, the bank is giving to someone else, and if the person will not return back, then we will be getting loss. It is not like that. Because of that only, banks also maintain the cash reserve, so that whenever the person will be coming, definitely 10,000 if deposit has made, the person will not come to withdraw the 10,000 together at the same time. They will be coming like 1,000 at a time, 2,000 withdrawal at the second time, 3,000 withdrawal at the next time, and so on. So that way the withdrawals can be there of the person, and same way they will deposit also. So that money whatever left out in the bank, what the bank does, they maintain the cash reserve, so that whenever the person will come, they will give the money to the person from the cash reserve, and the excess money what the person was having, that money they can give to someone else who is in the need of money. So that is the process of cash reserve generation and money lending function of reserve bank, commercial bank. Let us assume that the banks find it safe to keep cash reserves of only 10% of the demand deposit. Here what is demand deposit? The 10,000 money which the person had deposited, it is the DD, that is the demand deposit of the person. So banks, how they will keep, they will take 10% of that demand deposit to has the cash reserve. So 10,000, 10%, how it will be? It has been calculated in this way: 10,000 into 10 by upon 100. The answer came 1,000 rupees. Thus, by keeping cash reserve of rupees 1,000, the bank will hand a liability of rupees 10,000. The money deposited by the people, the necessary cash reserve is the banks need to hold are called required cash reserve. You can make the notes of these small topics which is given. That has, as I said, the necessary cash reserve is the bank need to hold are called required cash reserve, that is RCR, required cash reserve, or MCR, that is minimum cash reserve, that is maintained by the bank, so that whenever the person came whose liability we are having of 10,000, we can return back the money. Total cash reserves or the demand deposit with the bank, how much now it is having? 10,000, that is DD with the bank, it is 10,000. Required cash reserve, how much we had to return? Cash reserve what we have calculated, 10,000, 10% has to be maintained by the bank in the form of CR, that is cash reserve. So now bank will be saving this CR is equals to 1,000. So 10,000 minus 1,000 if we will do, then how much will be coming? 9,000. So excess reserve with the bank, that is 10,000 minus 1,000 equals to 9,000. This 1,000 rupees the bank can keep for the, so that anytime if it is the person will come, the bank will return back the fund. Then the next 9,000 what the bank is having, the bank can safely lend 9,000 as loan and an interest income, but the bank never offer loan in cash. Instead, an account is opened in the name of the borrower. Let us see how the bank is giving the money to the customer. It is very interesting because many times our parents take loan, but we don't know the process how the bank do and our parents get the money. So now we can learn the process of that also. The bank can safely lend rupees 9,000, which is a DD of someone else, has loan and earn interest income. What is uninterest income? This 9,000 rupees which is not of the bank, it will be given by the bank to the person who is in need of loan of 9,000, and from that person bank will earn a rate of interest, that is known as uninterest income. But the bank never offer loan in cash. So how it gives? Instead, an account is opened in the name of the borrower and the loan amount is reflected as a credit item in the account. Thus, this bank continue to hold rupees 10,000 even when 9,000 has been loaned out. So now the thing is that nothing will be taken out from the person's account. Only 10,000 will be shown in the depositor account, and same way 9,000 will be shown in another account of the person who is taking loan. So in this way, bank is managing the money in the banks and doing the functioning of banking. By loaning out rupees 9,000, the bank have only increased their financial liability by an amount of rupees 9,000, so that their total financial liability now equals to 10,000 plus 9,000 equals to 19,000. 10,000 are initial deposits of the people called primary deposit. 9,000 are known as secondary deposit. Both are demand deposit, and this can be withdrawn by on demand by writing checks. Total demand deposits of the banks now are rupees 10,000. Primary deposit plus 9,000, secondary deposit equals to becomes 19,000. The required cash reserves are 10% of 19,000, that is 1900. So now the DD, how much it has been showing? Primary deposit was rupees 10,000. Let us explain once again to you the DD, how it has been become 19,000. Earlier the bank was having the DD of 10,000, so that was the bank's holding. Even when 9,000 has been loaned out, by loaning out 9,000, the bank have only increased the financial liability by an amount of 9,000. So that their total financial liability now equals to 10,000 plus 9,000 equals to 19,000. So this way bank has made the new required cash reserve, that is total demand deposit equals to 19,000. Now 10,000 are initial deposits of the people called primary deposit. 9,000 credited in the account by way of loan are known as secondary deposit. Both are demand deposit. So demand deposit, the formula comes that DD equals to primary deposit So DD formulas comes equals to primary deposit plus secondary deposit. Here comes the formula total demand deposits. So this way, how the primary deposit was 10,000 and 9,000 was the secondary deposit which was bank had outlated. So this together it becomes 19,000. So this money will be considered as demand deposit. Now if we will be generating the cash reserve, the deposit with the bank was 10,000 earlier, required cash reserve we calculated with the formula, whatever DD will be there, 10% of it will be required cash reserve. Now again, our demand total DD is 19,000. Out of this 19,000, if we will calculate the reserve, then how it will come? 10% of 19,000, it will come as 1900. 10% of 90,000 equals to 1900, but the bank continued to hold cash reserve rupees 10,000. So that still there are excess reserve as under. So excess reserve now equals to, the formula is actual reserve minus required reserve. So actual reserve was how much? 10,000. What we have, actually we are having 10,000 deposits. Though it is shown 19,000, but it is DD, not the actual deposit. So actual deposit is 10,000. Out of that we will minus the required reserve RR. So it will be creating 1900. So how much excess cash we are having now after creating the reserve also, that is 8100. Now again with the process, the bank is able to give another person a loan of rupees 8100, or it can be bifurcated into many forms, and 8100 again will be given to another person loan, and again bank will earn the interest on this 8100 from that person. And now the thing is that whatever earning the bank is earning by giving the loan of some another person, that out of that interest only, keeping apart from that interest as earning, the bank will give the rest income to the next person in the form of interest. So that is a way a bank, whenever they are taking the cash, they have to return back a very less rate of interest to the person from whom they have taken the money as deposit. But with the same money, by showing in the account of many persons who are in need of money, the bank creates money. and earns number of times of rate of interest, which makes the bank profitable. So may I think now the process is clear. Later I will be providing the notes regarding you, so that in short you will be able to learn this particular topic, implying that the banks still have the capacity in terms of excess reserve to create demand deposit by way of loan. Again, the loans are offered not in cash. These are only reflected as credit items in the account of the borrower, so that by loaning out another rupees 8100, the bank are only increasing their financial liability by this amount in terms of demand deposit. Cash reserves of the bank continue to be intact of rupees 10,000. Now the picture becomes like this. Total DD, demand deposit. Earlier what was the demand deposit? That is 10,000. Primary deposit, nothing changed because no other person came to deposit till now the money. If the person will come, another person account opens and the person deposit 5,000, then primary deposit will increase, has 10,000 is the primary earlier PD, and 5,000 the second customer brings, that will become 15,000. So still now no another customer came, only one customer example we are taking, so whose primary deposit is 10,000 plus secondary deposit now has been increased. Earlier in the very first process, 10,000 minus 1,000, the required reserve when we deducted, it become 9,000, and the bank was having the capacity to show this 9,000 in the account of any other person in the form of credit and give a loan to that person. Now the bank is having another loan, that is actual reserve. What always the required reserve will be deducted from actual reserve, not from the total demand deposit. One thing you have to keep in mind, that total demand deposit, after that we are not maintaining the cash reserve or required reserve, we are maintaining the RR, required reserve, from the actual reserve, and actual reserve is a deposit what the bank is having, that is a primary deposit. So from this primary deposit only the required reserve will be deducted. So because of that we have not deducted from 19,000, we have deducted from 10,000. 10,000 minus 9,000, that comes 8,100. So second time the secondary deposit become 8,100. 9,000 plus 8,100 equals to, now it comes secondary deposit. So it becomes 70,100. Now the secondary deposit plus 10,000 the primary deposit, together it becomes 27,100. Same process will be repeated. Now on this total demand deposit 10% again the reserve will be created, that is the required reserve. So now 10% of 27,100 comes 10,000, 27,10. Actual cash reserve what we was having 10,000. Out of 10,000 we will deduct 27,10. Now the form will come. Now the form will come 2700, 100 if we will minus. Now we will come 2710 if we will minus 10, 70 to 90. So 70 to 90 can be offered by in the form of loan by creating a person's account and simply showing that bank is given the money to the person. In that way the bank will be showing, not only showing but giving the money to the person. 70 to 90. See here student, bank will, you will be having a still now the process of excess reserve, actual reserve and required reserve. I think it is clear. And total demand deposit also. After learning this theory step, I think a question will arise. The total deposit bank is having 10,000. How could he, out of that money only, one time the bank had given to another person 9,000, we can understand. But another time from the same 10,000, if the bank has given 9,000 to one person loan, how could the bank can give 8,100 to another person the loan? That can be a question. So the thing is that bank together it never gives the loan also. So it just creates a money in this form only. 1% deposit it takes to another person, it give the loan. From that person the principal amount in the form of interest will be coming, with the interest will be coming, that money will be saved in the bank. Then this money can be given to the another person that to whom we had given 8,100. So this capacity of the bank depends on the required reserve. how much the required reserve will be deducted. After that also, if the lump sum money is left up with the bank, that money will be can be given by the bank in the form of loan to the another person. So that is the story how the bank creates money. Excess reserves are still not fully exhausted. The process of creating demand deposit by way of loan would continue. It would continue till all excess reserves are exhausted. Means totally the required reserve, whatever we are calculating, it must get to a zero. Then only bank will stop the process of money creation. It would continue till all excess reserves are exhausted. When will this point be reached? This point will be reached when the banks have total demand deposit of rupees 1 lakh for which the required cash reserve equals to 10,000. Means 1 lakh into 10%, how much? 10,000, which is exactly equal to actual cash reserve of the bank. Finally, the following pictures will be emerged. That is actual cash reserves of the bank equals to, as we have did, demand deposit was 10,000. Out of this 10,000, when we deducted 10% has required reserve, that requires reserve, it become 1,000. It become 10,000. 10% we have taken. It came 1,000. Out of this 1,000, when we did excess reserve, we have taken actual reserve minus required reserve we have did. Excess reserve formula we have learned, actual reserve minus cash reserve we have learned. In that, according to that, you can see the formula actual reserve minus required reserve. According to that, it become 10,000. Our actual reserve minus 1,000 equals to 9,000 that we had posted here. Demand deposit new by way of loan, that is 9,000, and the cash reserve here it could become 10,000. It was already the CR equals to 10,000, and now what DD has been created, that is secondary deposit, we have to show in the account as loan. So loan is of 9,000. Now again the balance sheet will tally 92,000 and 19,000 it had been tallied. Now those who borrow money from the bank use it by way of writing checks. If the borrower Mr. X issue a check of rupees 9,000 in favor of Mr. Y, the money come back to the banking system. Cash reserve of the bank 10,000 remains intact, but due to the bank needs to hold 10,000 while their demand deposit only rupees 19,000. Obviously not when the required reserve ratio is assumed to be 10%. The bank need to hold only 10%, that is 19,000 into 10%, 1,900. Again this will be, we can see in the balance sheet now. How you will be able to see how the balance sheet is created. Combined balance sheet again we will create, as already we calculated in the 3 step. Let us see how the balance sheet is coming. DD is already of 10,000 we have did. Now cash reserve already it was of 10,000. CR, how much DD is there? What is the in the beginning? That much only the CR will be there. It will come in the last. Now demand deposit, how we created DD created newly, that is a secondary deposit. Here it is the SD, that is the secondary deposit. First time we have created 9,000, loan was shown 9,000. Second time again a DD secondary deposit by creating 10,000 plus 19,000 when we did. It came 19,000, 19,000 came. Out of that 1,900 came. We had deducted it from the 10,000. We got it as 8,100. And that 8,100 again will be shown in the asset side. That is a liability loan. So this is the way money is created by the bank. Thank you.